What's going on? We have a little raw video here. We are back with the E92 CSL, brought to you by my buddy Al, who is showed off this car in a video, I don't know, a year ago, a while ago. Yeah, about a year ago. So believe it or not, a lot has actually changed on this car, including a carbon fiber roof, which as far as I'm concerned is probably the only carbon fiber roof that's not on an E92 M3. So that's super cool. So he has a lot of cool like weight loss stuff. We published a video about a year ago on like almost the full build list. So this is not going to highlight every single thing in the video, but it will highlight a lot of the new stuff. So I want Al to actually take it away and kind of explain the new stuff and sort of the purpose of the build and I guess how it's going, especially with the roof and all that cool stuff going on. So take us through.
Well, I came to this crossroads with the car and it was like I could do the supercharger or I could try experimenting with weight loss. So I decided to do some weight loss.
So how much does your weigh, you think?
Right around 3,000.
3,000. Okay, and how much horsepower do you think?
It's about 260 at the wheels.
Okay, so that's pretty good. Like people forget they want a turbo or supercharged stuff. Like the point of this is to do naturally aspirated, right? Because that's your jam. So let's go through the obvious stuff.
So the
hood.
Right. Well, actually, if you start at the front, the E92 M3 has a composite carbon fiber bumper carrier. Yeah. This car had a steel carrier. So I swapped out both bumper carriers for the carbon ones from the M3. So that saved about 20 pounds. The hood saves about 17 pounds. The stock hood's 39 pounds, and this hood's about 22 pounds. The sunroof delete with the carbon roof knocks off about 45 pounds. 45
pounds from the top of a vehicle, which people forget. You know, the top of the vehicle is probably the worst place to have extra weight. So now, sunroof and everything.
This roof, I got off a scrapped M3.
Yeah, so this is a genuine BMW part. It's not wrapped. I mean, if you guys can see, I mean, it's actual carbon fiber. It's been re-cleared and
so it was on a 2008 car that was in a wreck. I contacted a scrapper. They cut the top of the car off. They sent it to my house on a pallet. And obviously it was a 10-year-old roof that had been on a car. It was, you know, chipped and scratched, and I had to go through. I stripped it, sanded it, and re-clear coated it, installed it. Weight loss on the inside, so I just replaced the seats here. That saves about 60 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah, the seats are super cool. I'm jealous of these seats.
That came out really nice.
Yeah,
I love the way the upholstery and everything matches this interior. It came out, it's really sweet.
Yeah, yeah. No, the seats are a big thing, especially because it's like a shifter or a steering wheel. You're always touching it and kind of engaging with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So let's go around the back, which there's something else new since last time.
This was weight added.
Yeah. So Al actually did add weight. He put a little CSL badge. Love it or hate it. But that's the point of the build.
And I changed the brakes also since the last video. They're lightweight rotors, so that saved like 7 pounds of rotating weight. Yeah. It makes a big difference in the performance.
Yeah. So how much weight have you removed from this car?
Let's put it this way. I've gained 20 pounds since the lockdown. But the car has lost, I don't know, I have to actually add it. I think it's probably like 225 or something.
We got gold!
Okay, so this is huge. This gold tape is worth probably 1/4 of 1 horsepower. Okay, so don't knock it.
Okay.
I modified this. There's an air intake here that feeds to the airbox.
Because this is normally not a hole.
No, that's normally a blank panel.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So that's a 2.5 inch pipe that feeds the airbox.
Yeah, I like that.
On these cars, there's a restriction in here. So most of the intakes that have dynoed extra power, they add a secondary track. So that's what that's all about. It's got that N54 manifold, which is it shifts all the power to the top end. So the car makes power all the way to red line. When you have like the 3-stage or the normal manifold that comes on the car, it kind of falls flat at 6,500. So this has a higher red line that makes power all the way up.
Yeah, we talked about it. If you guys are wondering, if you're seeing other things that you want to know more about, you have to watch the other video, because that thing's jam-packed with a lot more of details. This is more of an update, yeah.
So, and I use, like I said, I like to use OEM BMW parts on this car because, like I drive, in the last 3 months I drove 5,000 miles. And I just like the idea of it being reliable. So
yeah, what do you have? Over 100,000 miles
now? My build is it has to be reliable.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, let's go for a little drive.
Sir, you want to drive?
I can. I mean, I don't care. I'm fine riding, honestly.
I'd rather you. Well, all right. I don't care either, but
I mean,
you got to experience.
I'll drive. I'll drive it. Okay, I'll drive. All right. All right. Alright, so this is going to be truly a raw video, which I actually think can be better, because we're not faking anything. Alright, so I feel like I do need to move this. I'm sure it's faster than my E46. It's the same concept, like that's kind of what I think of as naturally aspirated, high enough revving. Actually, should we go right?
How's it feel compared to the ZHP?
I mean, this is way more buttoned down because it's lowered, it's newer. Like my car needs a new clutch, so it's hard to compare because it's an older car.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely a similar power. Like, you want to use it, you gotta use it.
Right. You have to work it. You have to use it all.
You have to work it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel scary, but it does take off. No, it feels good, but like I told you, man, you wanted to compare. It's hard to remember how it felt.
Well, yeah, you're not going to remember.
I mean, it feels good. I don't want to make you car sick, but like if you do this, like that's what's nice. It has the analog feel.
Yeah.
So you get an analog feel, and then you drop the weight. I mean, that can almost guarantee like good things.
To me, like
driving experience,
especially with these new seats, I just feel like I can throw this car around.
Yeah, the seats. You know? The seats are like I didn't even think about that. I'm just like, the seats just feel so natural. It makes you feel like you're ready to go. You know?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel out of place, I guess.
To me, I think, like I told you though, when I added those seats, I feel like, okay, this car could use 50 more horsepower now.
Yeah, because you feel, well, it's lighter, but also more predictable. It's funny when you initially like listed off the mods, I'm like, shoot, this thing is not going to drive like a normal car. Like,
no,
it's going to feel darty. It's going to feel this. It's going to feel that. But it feels good. Like you get in and you go. Like
I feel like it's really buttoned down because it's a lot of BMW parts. It's not aftermarket stuff that doesn't match up. You know.
Yeah, and it actually, I mean, we're in 4th gear at like 42 miles an hour, and it has a decent amount of torque.
Well, you know why? Because it's got a 391 rear diff. So the stock was a 323.
Yeah, that's got to make all the difference.
But that diff is from another BMW model. It's just a swap. So.
Yeah. Right. So it's upgraded, but it's still like true to.
But I mean, I added an LSD. How do you feel about the wood?
Horrible. I'll help you take it out if you want. Here, I'll start peeling.
You know, I still think that it's original to the car and it needs to stay.
Yeah, we'll get there.
And
Next update video.
I ordered you a windshield banner for your car.
Nah. You must not know me very well then. I'll give it to some sucker that I think wants it.
I put one on the back. I can have matching set.
Kill me over here. So is this Honda.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is. It's funny. It's definitely it's a car that's easy to live with, but it's also like, you know, it's got a little get up and go. I don't know what the red line is. I just went to 7.
It's 7,500.
Okay.
It'll cut the fuel. See, that's another thing. Like, I don't feel like I need to baby this car because these N52 motors, you could pick them up for about $1,000.
Well,
so
that's fine, but I'm not breaking it.
Well, you have $1,000, don't you?
Not for you.
How do you like that? I feel like it barks when you downshift nicely.
Yeah, it does. Let's do another downshift bark.
Oh man.
Does that feel good as a passenger?
Good. Yeah.
You're not used to someone giving it the beans.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah, no, it has a good feel. Like, it's pretty balanced. That's 3rd gear at 40.
I love 3rd gear in this car. I feel like 3rd gear is where it's at.
I can money shift it too.
Yeah. How do you like the brakes?
Brakes feel good. Yeah.
That's another thing. I paid a lot of attention on the brakes here. I really wanted to get the brakes enough, but not carry extra weight from going too far with them.
You never expect like a 328 to feel like this dynamic, but it does. I mean, you spent so much time and money like perfecting
Yeah.
the weight and even like the shifter and the power, the manifold and the suspension. I mean, all that.
You know what? For me, I get as much pleasure out of tinkering with the car as driving it.
Yeah.
And like, so I've just like pushed it as far as I felt it could be pushed and developed. So it's like, what would BMW have done if they could have made a performance version of the 328?
The CSL.
Yeah, exactly.
So if someone wants to see more of your info, you have a thread on E90 Post.
Yeah, there's a build thread.
Your whole build thread. But you also have an Instagram now.
Yes.
Thankfully. So I'll put that 328 CSL.
Yes, sir.
So I'll put that in the video, because there were a lot of people asking for the first video, like, how do I follow? How do I ask questions? You know, like that kind of thing. So thanks for letting me drive this thing. I mean, it's an E92. I've driven a lot of E92, so I feel like at home. But yeah, I think you did a good job with it, man. Like, it's easy to drive, it's quick enough. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
Sound. It's angry. She's angry. Yeah. End the video here. Follow this guy on Instagram. Follow this guy on his E90 thread. And good update, man. I freaking love these seats, by the way. These seats are sweet. I want some.
Yeah, they're cool.
They're fancy. So, all right, man. Well, thanks again. Follow, like, subscribe. Follow this guy. See you next time.